What would happen if a man abandoned violence, devoted his life to faith, and spent years trying to become a better person, only to discover that the system he trusted had brutally murdered his innocent son? Most people would demand justice, but when justice refuses to answer, vengeance becomes the only language left. This is the Black Book. The story follows Paul Edema, a quiet and deeply religious man living a simple life. To the outside world, Paul appears ordinary. He spends his days worshiping, helping others, and trying to leave his troubled past behind. But what nobody knows is that Paul was once one of the most feared operatives in the country. Years ago, he worked in a world of violence, intelligence operations, and deadly missions. He was the kind of man governments relied on when situations became too dangerous for ordinary law enforcement. Eventually, he walked away from that life. He wanted peace. He wanted redemption. Most importantly, he wanted to be a father. For years, Paul succeeds in building a normal existence. His greatest source of pride is his son, Damilola. Unlike Paul, Damilola dreams of an honest future. He wants to create a life free from corruption and violence. Everything changes overnight. One day, shocking news spreads through the city. A young man has been accused of kidnapping. The suspect is Damilola. Before Paul can even understand what is happening, his son is arrested by a notorious police unit known for brutality and corruption. Paul knows immediately that something is wrong. His son is many things, but he is not a criminal. Still, the authorities insist they have evidence. The media quickly labels Damilola a kidnapper. Public opinion turns against him, and before he has a chance to defend himself, tragedy strikes. Damilola is found dead in police custody. Officials claim he resisted arrest. The case is closed almost immediately. To everyone else, the story is finished. But for Paul, it has only begun. Heartbroken and consumed by grief, he starts investigating the circumstances surrounding his son's death. The deeper he digs, the more disturbing the truth becomes. Witnesses disappear, evidence vanishes, people become afraid to talk. Every path leads back to a powerful network of corrupt officers operating far above the law. Paul soon discovers that Damilola wasn't killed because he was guilty. He was killed because he accidentally became connected to people who wanted dangerous secrets buried forever. The realization changes everything. The peaceful man disappears, the father remains, and the father wants answers. Knowing the authorities will never investigate themselves, Paul makes a decision. He will uncover the truth alone. For the first time in years, he returns to skills he hoped never to use again. Old instincts awaken, old contacts resurface, and buried memories come back to life. One by one, Paul begins tracking everyone involved in his son's death. At first, the corrupt officers dismiss him as a grieving old man. That mistake becomes their biggest regret. Because Paul is not ordinary, every move he makes reveals fragments of the deadly operative he once was. He studies his enemies, learns their routines, identifies their weaknesses, and slowly begins dismantling their organization. Meanwhile, those responsible for Damilola's death become increasingly nervous. The people they once controlled are suddenly disappearing. Witnesses start talking. Secrets begin leaking. Fear spreads through their ranks. The hunters slowly realize they're being hunted. As Paul's investigation continues, he uncovers a web of corruption stretching far beyond a single murder. Politicians, businessmen, security officials, criminal organizations, all connected through greed and power. At the center of it all is a secret ledger known as the Black Book, a document containing evidence capable of exposing powerful individuals and destroying entire careers. Many people are willing to kill to protect it. Others are willing to die trying to reveal it. And somehow Damilola became trapped in the middle of that conflict. The closer Paul gets to the truth, the more dangerous his mission becomes. Armed men begin following him. Assassins attempt to stop him. Powerful figures order his elimination. Yet every threat only strengthens his determination. This is no longer just about revenge. It's about exposing a system that destroys innocent lives while hiding behind authority. Paul's journey becomes increasingly brutal. He forces corrupt officials to confront their crimes. He challenges powerful men who believe themselves untouchable. And everywhere he goes, the legend of his former life grows stronger. People begin whispering about him, a ghost from the past, a man who cannot be intimidated, a father who refuses to quit. What makes the story so compelling is that Paul never seeks violence for pleasure. Every action comes from pain. Every confrontation is fueled by love for his son. Every risk is taken because he cannot accept a world where innocent people die while the guilty prosper. As the investigation reaches its climax, Paul finally uncovers the complete truth. The revelation is devastating. Damalola was never a criminal. He was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Corrupt officials needed a scapegoat, and they chose an innocent man. The realization breaks Paul's heart all over again, but it also gives him clarity. Now he knows exactly who is responsible, and now they have nowhere left to hide. The final confrontation becomes a collision between truth and corruption. Powerful figures scramble desperately to protect themselves. Evidence begins surfacing. Allies turn against one another. Years of hidden crimes threaten to explode into public view. Paul stands at the center of the storm, not as a politician, not as a police officer, not as a vigilante, but as a father demanding accountability. The final moments are filled with tension, emotion, and long-awaited justice. One by one, the people responsible for Damalola's death are forced to face the consequences of their actions. The truth finally reaches the public. The lies collapse. The corruption is exposed. And although nothing can bring his son back, Paul achieves something equally important. He ensures that Damalola's name is cleared. The world finally learns the truth. His son was innocent. As the dust settles, Paul is left alone with his grief. The victory feels bittersweet. Justice has been served, yet the person he fought for is gone forever. Still, there is comfort in knowing that truth survived, and sometimes truth is the most powerful weapon of all. The Black Book is more than an action thriller. It's a story about a father's love, the cost of corruption, and the lengths an ordinary man will go when the people in power betray everything they are supposed to protect. Because when justice becomes corrupt, the search for truth becomes a battle, and for a father who has lost everything, that is a battle worth fighting. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe to Movie Story Recaps and share this video with fellow movie lovers. Let us know in the comments which movie you'd like us to recap next, and we'll see you in another unforgettable story.